All right, here we are, January 24th in North Carolina. What's been going on in the Hinkle shop? Well, we made some progress on this guy right here. We've got this toy box going. I still need to glue this on. It's just sitting there. Top is getting ready, getting good to go. I got all these splines in all the way around. I got to cut all these guys out, stain it up. Not much progress on that. The barn dobe thing we're building back there. That cold that I had last week, it's a fast mover, so that's good. It took me off my feet Monday and Tuesday. Kind of took me off my feet. I just did not feel like coming out here and doing anything in this shop. Wednesday, Thursday, I came out, got the splines in preparation for the big news. The big news, what's going on in the world? Well, we're facing this big storm coming this weekend, so my intention was to get this toy box as close to no need for power tools as I possibly can. I think I'm there. I think I could finish this thing now if the power goes out. Just a little bit of lingering cough there. So the power goes out. All right, let's talk about that for a minute. I just posted a reel on Instagram and Facebook about misinterpreting kindness with animosity or aggression. So I'm going to give you a little advice here. All right? If you haven't seen those, don't misinterpret what your wife says to you for being mean or being smart. Here's the example. Getting ready to go outside today, Lisa says, "Hey, you might want to take a shower." I said, "That's not very nice. What are you talking about? I showered yesterday." What she meant was, with the impending storm, we may not have power. You may not be able to shower for a few hours. So, fellas, when your wife says you might want to shower, take a breath and figure out what she's saying to you before you just fly off the handle and tell her she's being mean to you. Yeah. So I did take a shower this morning. I followed instructions perfectly from what she said after that little episode. I've got the rocket stove going over there. I don't have the propane fired heater going on out here in the shop in preparatory measures for if the power does go out. I don't want to use up propane because I will take that bad boy in the house and use it. I also did a reel yesterday about having backup heat sources, and I mentioned that I had an electric heater out here in the shop I could bring in the house. If there's no power, how's the electric heater going to work? That's right. It's not. A faux pas from the Hinkle shop. So, the plan for this weekend is to try and not get snowed in. I'm from upstate New York, so that makes me an official snowfall meteorologist, snow level aficionado down here on how much snow we're going to get. Now, I went outside today, took some garbage to the dumpster, and it don't feel like we're going to get rain. I really hope I'm right. I know these southerners do not like snow, but snow is a whole lot easier to deal with than ice. So the initial snowfall here for Davie County, where I live in Moxville, upper half of Davie County, was 17 to 20 inches of snow in North Carolina. So as the week has progressed, they're talking now about half an inch to 1 inch of ice. If we have a half inch to 1 inch of ice, we are going to be in a world of hurt. Let's pray that that does not happen. I would rather have snow any day of the week. Now, if it snows 5-6 inches and then starts to rain, they don't have snow plows down here, but it still makes navigating around easier when you can break through the crust of the ice on the top of the snow. So, the shop, everything has been staged so that if I am closed in for the weekend, I can come out here and play and work without power. I can continue to paint that guy. I can use a handsaw to cut trim. I've done it before. I can take this guy and cut these things off, make them flush on the corner, sand it all up. Got some sanding to do. I can put the hardware and the hinges on this thing. By the way, let me see if I can find them over here. I'm gonna test out these guys on this toy box. I don't know if they're, I'm hoping they'll work. These are slow close braces, I guess. I wouldn't call them hinges because I'm going to put hinges on, but these are slow close braces. That's one of the big things about toy boxes with little ones is they like to put the fingers under them and get slammed in the toy box. So I'm hoping that those slow close braces will prevent that. Fast forward to the projects for the ONEFINITY and the CNC. I have done the programming for the project that is too big. I told you this last week, that is too big for the CNC. I'm hoping if the power holds out that I can work on that this weekend and produce that. And I've also, like I said, I've got the 50-cent, $5, and $50 whiskey smoker project lined up that I'm planning on doing. Hopefully the power holds out and we can do that. I may just have to go in and snuggle with Lisa all weekend long, because if it gets too nasty out there, this shop with a roof over my head and the walls is great, but snuggling with Lisa is probably a whole lot greater. Anyway, yeah, that's what we got going on. We had a little setback with the cold, but we're in good shape. We're getting through it. I do believe we're going to see a snowpocalypse of 2026. I almost said 2024. I'm still in the past, but I think we are in for snowpocalypse 2026. Let me show you this thing. So there's a gentleman on Instagram, Facebook, who makes a bunch of jigs for routers, and I copied one. So this is the spline jig for the router that did this. Put this on the corner, drop the router in, run it across, take it off. And I gotta tell you, thank you to whoever that guy is, TWC Woodcraft, something like that, because this thing is awesome. It was simple to make. I had to make two of them actually, because the first one I made, I didn't think about it. I didn't put these two starter and stopper holes in. If you make one of these, 45 braces, because when you push down on this, it wants to flex. I put the braces in, starter, stopper hole, straight line with your router, and use a flush trim bit. One of these guys with a top bearing. And you can cut them spline slots all day long. He's got a bunch of them. He's got them out there for the for making dovetails. I was going to say bow ties. That's not right. For making dovetails, he's got a bunch of them out there on TikTok and Facebook, Instagram. I see him all over the place. He's really a clever guy. So thank you to him, whoever he is. I hope he sees this someday. I'm telling you, that thing was so easy to work with and accurate. They were all cut the same thickness. They all went in at the same pressure with a little tappy tap tap from the hammer and persuader, and it's working good. So that's what we got going on this weekend. I hope everybody that is in this broad sweeping snowstorm stays safe. Don't be out there driving around on the roads for any stupid reasons. You can survive without bread and milk for a few days. But having said that, thank you for everybody that tunes into these every Saturday. Thank you for everybody that continues to support me. Oh, one more thing. I was thinking about this. I had a viewer ask me to do a video on small, detailed lettering. He's having trouble with lettering that is small and detailed. Without doing a video to try and help him out here quickly, to help you all out, men and women, the smaller the text that you're trying to carve on your machines requires smaller and smaller bits to get the detail. Same thing with anything you're making. You can't take a 1-inch diameter end mill and expect it to cut what an 1/8-inch end mill will. So if we look, for example, at a few of these guys, let's see if I have one more that I can show you. So by smaller and smaller, I mean, here's a 90. I got my fingers to work. There's a 90, okay? 60, and then we're talking 15. So if you're trying to make really small, tight, detailed letters, You may have to go to a 30-degree V-bit. You may have to go to a 15 or even narrower. You may have to adjust how deep you're going. Start depths. Forget start depths, I hate that. Stop depths, max depths. Adjusting that up and down. But as you get smaller and smaller with more detailed text, you've got to decrease the size of your V-bit, because these 90-degree ones that we're using to make yard signs just simply will not work on tiny little letters. All right, I hope that helps you. Maybe I will do a video at some point, but to fast forward and help you out maybe quicker, I hope that helps. Thanks everybody for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one, folks.